You want love. Not just any love, but the kind that makes life feel more alive, more meaningful, more whole. The kind of love that sees you, not just your body or your achievements, but your soul. But here's the truth we rarely speak aloud. Most people don't actually know how to love. Not because they don't want to, but because they were never taught how. Not in school, not at home, not even by the people who said they loved them. We were taught that love is something we find, something that happens to us, something out there. But Erich Fromm, German psychoanalyst, humanistic philosopher, and author of The Art of Loving, believed something radical. Love isn't a feeling you stumble into. Love is a skill, a practice, an art. And like any art, it requires patience, discipline, humility, and most importantly, it begins with you. Let's talk about it. Fromm begins his book with a bold statement. Love is the only sane and satisfactory answer to the problem of human existence. Let that land. Not success, not safety, not status. Love, real love, mature love, the kind of love that connects, not consumes. But here's what most people miss. Fromm believed that modern society misunderstands love completely. We think love is something you fall into like a ditch. We think if we meet the right person, everything will just work. But he argues that this is why so many people are disappointed, disillusioned, or even destroyed by love. Because they approach it like a transaction, a marketplace. They shop for partners like they shop for shoes. Good fit, good style, affordable price, done. But real love is not consumerism. It's not something you get, it's something you give. But you can't give what you haven't grown. Which is why all love begins with self-love. Not the narcissistic kind, not ego-stroking, not standing in front of a mirror repeating I'm enough. But the kind of self-love that Fromm called self-respect, self-discipline, and self-awareness. He writes, love is an activity, not a passive affect. It is a standing in, not a falling for. In other words, love is not a trap you fall into. It's a conscious stance, a decision to show up, to see, to understand, to nurture, to grow. And that decision must start with yourself. So the first lesson? 1. Love is something you learn by practicing on yourself. If you're always abandoning yourself, criticizing yourself, hiding from yourself, then how can you be trusted to show up for someone else? If you fear your own needs, your own emotions, your own shadows, how can you hold someone else's? Fromm said, to be capable of love, one must reach the position of maturity in which one has overcome narcissism, in which one has gained objectivity and reason, in which one has developed humility and the capacity for love. Love isn't just a feeling, it's an act of maturity. And you grow that maturity by showing yourself compassion, discipline, honesty, and care every day. But there's a second obstacle, and it's one we rarely talk about. We fear love because it makes us vulnerable. Fromm observed this decades ago, and it's even more true today. In a world that praises independence, hustle, and image, love demands the opposite. Surrender, stillness, sincerity. That's terrifying for many people, because we've been taught that love is conditional. That if we're flawed, we'll be rejected. That if we open up, we'll be hurt. That if we depend, we'll be left. So instead, we play roles. We protect ourselves. We perform. But you can't be loved for who you truly are if you never show who you truly are. So Fromm says this, 2. Love demands courage, and you can't outsource that. You have to risk being seen. You have to risk caring first. You have to risk being hurt. Because to love is to offer your heart, not to guarantee a return. And it starts by becoming the kind of person who can love with courage, who can sit in discomfort, who can hold space for others without losing themselves. But here's where Fromm gets deeply practical and powerfully challenging. He breaks love into 4 disciplines: care, responsibility, respect, and all deeds. Let's explore them. Each one, a mirror to your capacity for self-love and mature connection. Care. Are you attentive to the people in your life? Do you show up not just when it's convenient, but when it matters? And with yourself, do you care for your body, your mind, your needs, your boundaries? If not, how can you love anyone else? Responsibility. Not control, not guilt, but presence. Fromm said, responsibility is my response to the needs, expressed or unexpressed, of another human being. Are you capable of responding to the needs of someone you love? And again, can you respond to your own? Or do you run away, numb out, blame, collapse? Love begins with how you handle yourself. Respect. This might be the most misunderstood of all. To Fromm, respect means The ability to see a person as he is, to be aware of his unique individuality. Not trying to fix them, not projecting on them, not turning them into a version of yourself. Respect means letting someone be who they are and choosing to love them, not your fantasy of them. And again, it begins with how you treat yourself. Do you respect your own feelings, thoughts, dreams, and limits? If not, how can you do it for someone else? Knowledge to love is to know, to seek understanding. Fromm says, love is possible only if two persons communicate with each other from the center of their existence. Not just surface-level chatter, not just compatibility checklists, but deep mutual understanding. And that means you must understand yourself, your patterns, your pain, your needs, your truth. If you haven't explored your own inner world, you'll project it onto others. That's not love. That's reenactment. So what does it mean to learn how to love better? It means learning how to become better at loving. To treat love not as a magical accident, but as a sacred responsibility, skill, a craft, a path of personal evolution. And the first step on that path? Start with yourself. Love yourself the way you wish someone had. See yourself, care for yourself, respect yourself, respond to yourself, not because you're perfect, but because you're growing. And that growth will ripple outward. Because here's the final truth. When you grow your capacity to love yourself maturely, you raise the ceiling for every relationship you touch. You don't need to chase love. You need to embody it. You don't need to perform to be loved. You need to practice being loving. The love you crave is not waiting out there. It's waiting in you to be awakened, deepened, and shared. So begin there, with you, and let the rest follow.